Holla holla, I'm Claudina, and I'm gonna be giving you a tour of my full Gen 1 Monster High doll collection. All of my dolls are in box, and I display them on these lovely custom coffins created by Raven Shadowwood on Etsy, which I will leave a link to in the description. They're pretty lightweight. They fit about 4 dolls a shelf, roughly. This first shelf is all of Wave 1. These are all of the original Monster High dolls from 2010. We have Claudine, Draculaura, Frankie, and Laguna, and originally these dolls retailed at only $16. And then we have the second part of Wave 1 and Dawn of the Dance. And then at the bottom of each of the shelves, I have the Monster High plush friends, which I did complete that collection. And at the top here we have the original Comic-Con Frankie, and if you've seen my video about the Comic-Con dolls, you know that this doll was available on Shop Justice for only $40. She's definitely gone up in value.
Claudine Wolf here. Sorry to interrupt the video, but I have a clawsome secret to share with you. I heard from Spectra that my girlfriend Claudina has a shop where she selling dolls from her collection. You heard me right. You can own some of Monster High's most coveted dolls, like Vampire Heart Draculaura, Comic-Con Manitou and Iris Clops, Freaky Fusion, and as if that wasn't enough, you can also buy the entire Skellecta collection like Beetlejuice, Greta Gremlins, Nightmare Before Christmas, and more. Only on the Whatnot shopping app. We put the link in the description, which will easily take you directly to Claudina's shop. The one that auction takes place Saturday, April 27th, 4:30 p.m. PST. And a second stream takes place Saturday, May 4th at 1:30 p.m. PST. Be sure to click the link in the description so you don't miss it. See you there, beasties. Now, back to the video.
Over here, we have these acrylic museum displays because I really wanted my collection to be elevated, just because I feel like for so long, my collection looked so cluttered, and I want people to walk into my home and get this feeling of, oh, I can't touch anything. That's how you should feel. I want you to look and then leave. This is a prototype Dead Tired Ghoulia. As you can see, they used a Claudine body, which is why it's kind of flaking off. And originally, the Dead Tired dolls were gonna have Truth or Scare cards. They ultimately ended up scrapping that idea, and presumably because they made a licensed game where like you could play Truth or Scare with those cards instead, but they were gonna come with that instead of the checklist they ended up coming out with. Over here, we have an unreleased line, the Howling Hoodies line. So we have Draculaura and Twyla. Then this extra outfit, which is Venus's, it was part of the Gen 2 Monster High reboot. They're actually the only Gen 2 doll that I have out on display over here because they're unreleased. So I wanted to put all of my prototypes and unreleased dolls in these display cases, so I need a couple more because there are some more prototypes. And then over here, we have my favorite prototype, Twyla. When I posted this on the YouTube community page, everyone was like, why is Twyla front and center? Twyla is a shy character. She wouldn't be out in public like that. But this doll is a prototype, and I am obsessed with her screening. The way that they painted her face, whoever hand painted this Twyla, oh my god, marry me. This is so beautiful, especially compared to the final release. Now, the final release is still one of my favorite dolls ever, but this face is just so striking. Over here, we have my other store displays, the second Target store display. This one has Amanita and the Monster Exchange dolls, as well as Sweet Scream, Abby, and Ghoulia. Down here, we have my out-of-box first wave Holt Hyde and Ghoulia. This is the Saran variant Ghoulia, who was gifted to me by the lovely, amazing, incredible, show-stopping Steven Sumner. He's designed for Mattel back around like 2010, and he actually designed the Nicki Minaj Barbie from that time, the Pink Friday album Barbie. Over here we have the first Monster High display that was used to market Monster High in Target stores. I never thought I would own this. This is probably second most prized possession aside from the Twyla. Owning this is so surreal because it just brings me so much joy, and it just looks so proper. It looks like it belongs in a museum, so I had to display it as such. And then down here we have all of my first wave dolls that I would use for stop motions. So you might notice the Frankie that has no eyelashes. I always put my Draculaura on a shorter body. And then down here, these were also gifted to me by Steven. So thank you, Steven. Love you. then this is the Wave 2 shelf where I have the iconic Deadfast Ghoulia. And people always ask me what my favorite Monster High line is, and for a while I would tell them that it is Schools Out. I just think these are so well designed. This Claudine was serving Ariana before Ariana was serving Ariana because that high pony is so snatched. The Forbidden Love 2-pack with Abby and Spectra. I kind of have like the side glance Spectra variant, and this Abby's kind of looking at Spectra, so they're almost like looking at each other, which I love. And then Dawn of the Dance Wave 2, easily one of the best Monster High lines as well. The quality on these dolls are probably peak Monster High, like the best detail that they've put into any of their lines. And then the Plushy Friends Draculaura. This is the entire Haunt Couture line that these three Mattel very generously sent in PR, which, you know, if you know, you know. It was a very controversial time for everyone. These two, however, were first revealed at Comic-Con. This one was gifted to me by Tony, Violet Lotus, and anytime that I have a doll from somebody who I love, I have them write a note on the actual packaging because I want them to know I'm never gonna resell it and that I really cherish the fact that they got it for me. So, and then this Ghoulia is the first doll to be part of the Fang Club program. Here is the entire 13 Wishes collection. Now you might have noticed that I have these little placards out, which I created the first time that I did a full Monster High doll collection, and I have not made any more since, so I really need to get some more. But this is the entire 13 Wishes collection. This line is really, really sentimental to me because this movie is my favorite Monster High movie, and I just related to it so much. Their messaging of finding yourself and having low self-esteem, but then wishing you didn't. Just really relatable stuff. Up here we have Valentine and Wisp, which is probably the most notable Monster High villains and one of the most sought after Comic-Con sets, so I feel really lucky to own them. And these are the two play sets that were part of the 13 Wishes set. Now, interestingly, I don't know what was going on with this play set. Maybe they just wanted to create a lovely, lovely pool, but this was not part of the movie, so I don't know why they really made that. But Cleo was in the movie and wore something completely different, and they just didn't make a doll of it. And Spectra also wasn't really the DJ, it was Holt in the movie, but this is the Haunt the Casbah, a pun on Rock the Casbah playset, which will actually play music. I remember creating a lot of stop motions with this playset and thoroughly enjoying it. This is my iHeart Fashion shelf with all the Toys R Us exclusive iHeart Fashion dolls. Up here we have Comic-Con, Scara, and Hoodoo, which this is Monster High's first rag doll. Not my favorite design, but in order to have a complete collection, he had to be included. All of the iHeart Fashion dolls became super valuable because they were Toys R Us exclusive, and I feel like a lot of people didn't get access to that. I mean, the closest Toys R Us to me as a kid was 30 minutes away, so most of the time I'd have to order them online. She's a little wonky, not gonna lie. I was just happy to have her. And this Iris is super fun. I actually like this open style packaging, though I will say these are probably my favorite because they just look like a little store boutique. Over here we have Comic-Con Weberella, aka Winona Spider, like Winona Ryder. And then the Sweet Screams line, which has to be basically everyone's favorite Monster High line. They were Target exclusive, designed by Rebecca Shipman. She did such an amazing job on this line, and allegedly there's gonna be a Gen 3 equivalent to this line, so I'm excited to see that. Down here we have the Gloom and Bloom dolls, the Cleo and Jennifer. This is so surreal to own. This is definitely one of my favorite lines. I think this Jane Doolittle is stunning. She's so gorgeous, and the whole theme of like a garden party I thought was really fun. Not necessarily very high school, but still very fun. Over here we have the Comic-Con Voltageous doll. This one is signed by all of the designers, so we have Rebecca Shipman, Olga, and Cheris. And then down here we have Wave 3, we have Toralei, Nephra. Oh my god, so good. Still one of my favorite dolls. I think the color scheme is so beautiful. Also designed by Rebecca. If I'm not mistaken, this is Rebecca's first doll that was released that she designed all the way back in 2012. Then we have Operetta, who was originally going to be one of the main characters in place of Cleo Denial, but then Mattel thought that kids would not know about the Phantom of the Opera, so they scrapped her, and she later became released in this line. Jackson Jekyll, Venus. This one is actually signed by Garrett Sander. I remember Mattel sent me this and Rebecca both signed, and I was just an idiot child, so I opened up the Rebecca, and she was signed, and she was still sold in stores, so I don't know why I had to do that, but I did. And then Rochelle. And Rochelle came out before these two, interestingly. Down here, we have Caddy and Casta's signature dolls. This doll I got at Target, and I remember they had this cute little Target store display that people would buy or steal. There's something going on there. But I do not have that, unfortunately. I have a ton of other displays that we'll talk about later. And then Casta. Now this doll I did get in a store display, which I technically bought. I didn't technically steal it, I bought it. Over here we have Zombie Gaga. Fun fact, I do have two. I feel like people are gonna be like, this whole video is you just bragging about your dolls. People asked for this, they wanted this, they requested it. It was a highly, highly requested video by 3 whole people. Over here. Down here we have Sweet 1600. I honestly do feel like this is one of my favorite fairy tales. If you have not seen Sweet 1600, go do yourself a favor and watch it, because their like story about expectations and love, I just think was actually so beautiful and so well told. Like really, really healthy way of looking at love. And these are designed by Natalie Portman. Natalie left Monster High, I think around the reboot, but she designed a lot of the themed lines, like the fall releases, and she always outdid herself. Like this Claudine lesbian icon, sapphic queen. Down here, it's Gloom Beach. This is actually kind of how I got my start. I don't think the video's on my channel anymore, but I was the first person to review the Gloom Beach line, and it was about 2 months before the dolls officially came out in stores. The video kind of blew up, and it is kind of how I got my start in doing doll reviews, so this line is pretty special to me. And I do think they're very scandalous, at least the Cleo. I don't mind it, I don't have an issue with it, but I do see why people had some thoughts. Down here we have the Kohl's exclusive Claudine and Operetta, and then the Day at the Mall, Frankie and Draculaura. Over here we have the full Scaricity of Frights line. Now I know I've said this about basically every doll, but this is really one of my favorite lines. I just had this weird affinity with Paris as a kid, so I was so drawn to this line and they were so inspirational to me. It is following Claudine, who is my favorite character, and it's basically about her getting invited to go to Paris on some design internship when things go awry, obviously. But this line also had Jennifer and Skeleta, and Jennifer is daughter of the Chinese dragon specifically, and there wasn't a lot of Chinese representation as a kid, so I really, really love that representation. I identified a lot with her because of that, and green is my favorite color, so I just think overall this line was designed really well. This Jennifer and Skeleta were also designed by Rebecca and Natalie, and I think they dually created this set for Cleo and Laguna, which is one of my favorite Cleos. I love that little side bang moment. Down here, we have the budget dolls. Now, if you don't know what a budget doll is, these are the quote unquote more affordable dolls that they'll sell in Big Lots, Family Dollar, so that way you could get a doll that might have less accessories, but you're still getting that Monster High experience. Up here, the Kmart exclusive Viperine and Claudine scare and makeup set, and then the Ghoul Chat, Katrine and Rochelle. And I think that their little rotary phone attached to their eye coffins, and I always loved that accessory. Probably one of my favorite Monster High accessories. Here is that store display that I was referencing earlier. This is not technically the display, but I wanted it so badly because Casta was in it, and Casta was not supposed to be released for like another month or so. So I was like, I'm getting that display, and I did. But this coffin is also created by Raven Shadow Wood, and it is made specifically to fit the dimensions of this display, and for me to be able to put a couple dolls in. We love Raven Shadow Wood for that. This is probably my favorite shelf. Now, I know I have some lovely, lovely dolls, but Create a Monster, I just think is so underrated. They really outsold. I cannot believe I have this because it is never seen listed anywhere. It is the Create a Monster Costco exclusive bundle, and this is the only time you could get these torsos because a lot of the Create a Monsters did not have matching torsos. I would never open this. It's not even the creating the monster that is fun. I just think they have the best screening, better painted than the other dolls. They're so well constructed and so uniquely designed. Over here we have all of the actual school activity lines. There's actually not a lot of school related lines, which I thought was interesting. Up here we have the Mad Science and Home Ick 2-pack. This is the first time we were getting Heath Burns in a doll form, and I feel like they did not disappoint. I actually really like the Heath doll. I think he's a really cute doll. Then down here we have new Scaremester. There were no new characters introduced in this line, but we got entirely new outfits for Katrine. This is the first time that she got longer hair. Claudine got a shorter bob. But this is probably one of my favorite caddies. She is giving Hannah Montana to me. The bang, the gloves, so Hannah Montana inspired. Down here we have the art class line. Rebecca, Draculaura, Abby, and Skeleta. This line was really fun. They also made a playset to pair with this line. And then we have the Ghoul Sports line. I think this line is also kind of underrated. They're really, really cute to me. The concept of them doing sports in high heels is so high camp. Live for that. And then the Creepateria line. And there is, of course, the first classroom line, which is not here. We just didn't have room to display that, but we will get to that.
This is crazy.
This is the Picture Day line. This came out around the time that I was on a cruise, and I remember freaking out because when you're on a cruise and you don't pay for international data, you don't have internet access. But right before we set sail, these dolls were leaked and I was freaking out because I was like, oh my god, I'm not gonna be able to see them. So then I secretly bought internet, and I feel like I'm exposing myself as a horrible child, but I did secretly buy internet. But this is the variant for Operetta where she has like a webbed mask. And then down here we have Dot Dead Gorgeous. These came out while I was in New York with my parents. It sounds like we traveled a lot. We didn't. We didn't, but coincidentally, we were in New York at that time. Up here we have the adult collector Monster High dolls. They were Amazon exclusive, and we have Skeleta and Abby. Over here is Fright's Camera Action, originally dubbed Hauntlywood, but it does actually say Hauntlywood on these packages. I never noticed that until just now. But up here are the black carpet dolls. So we have Cleo, Draculaura, Claudine, and Laguna. Laguna was barely in this movie, so I don't know why she got a doll, but she did, and that's fine. Over here we have the new characters for this line, which were Honey Swamp, Claudia, Elizabeth, who became like a huge fan favorite, and Viperine. Viperine is actually one of the reasons I started doing makeup, because I cosplayed her. She was the first Monster High doll that I really cosplayed, and I learned how to sew making her dress. She's pretty sentimental to me. And then we have Operetta, where she was Walmart exclusive, and her tag is supposed to be Big Moment Doll, but it cuts off, so it just says Monster High Big Mom Doll. And me and my friend used to always laugh at that. Down here we have Ghouls Night Out. I really think Rochelle's the only one giving Ghouls Night Out. This Laguna is so questionable. The Spectre's okay. She's all right, but she is yellowing at the forehead because Mattel had horrible glue seepage problem. Down here is the gorgeous accessories, Skeleta and Operetta, and then the I Heart Shoes, Draculaura and Cleo. I think this Draculaura, we don't talk about her enough. She's giving like Great Britain. She just seems so posh and polished, like she's ready for something. And then down here we have the Love Is Not Dead 2-pack with Ghoulia and Slow-Mo. Here is the Comic-Con Hexakaya and Rebecca. This is one of their last Comic-Con dolls, so they include a pretty in-depth diary that depicts their daughter-father relationship. Over here we have Skull Shores. This is our first introduction to Gil, and then we have the black and white Frankie, which if I'm not mistaken, she was really, really, really inexpensive. I don't know if it was like $4 or something, but she had a Black Friday sale, except it wasn't on Black Friday. It was for Friday the 13th. It was like a whole marketing thing. Over here we have the Skulltimate Roller Maze line. Up here is the 2-pack that was Kmart exclusive with Ghoulia and Abby. This isn't technically part of the Roller Maze line, but they're skating, so I figured I'd put it over here. It is the Wheel Love 2-pack with Laguna and Gil, which was a Toys R Us exclusive. Fun fact about the Roller Maze line, people used to get these for free before they were actually released by contacting Mattel's customer support and telling them that they they got a broken doll with the batch number. Down here we have Geek Shriek. Now, this is probably one of my least favorite lines, but I'm a completionist, so I had to get it anyway. The whole theme of the line is they're all just wearing glasses and like geeky quote-unquote clothing. Down here we have Music Festival, which is such a cute line. I love Abby and Claudine. Their hairstyles are so fun. And the Claude and Draculaura 2-pack for this set has a really cute Draculaura. I mean, a lot of the Draculauras are cute, but the leather dress on her, chef's kiss. Over here we have the Power Ghouls line, which they were going to make into a movie, or they wanted to make into a movie, but instead we just got little comic books with the dolls. And this is around the time that Marvel was really popping off, so Mattel was releasing a lot of superhero dolls with Monster High and Barbie. Down here we have Ghouls Alive. Now this is their first gimmicky doll, and I actually really like them. Now I know a lot of people don't love a gimmick. The batteries are dead on them, but they move, they're kind of animated, they would blink. And then we have the Budget 2015 Sleepover dolls. This was around the time that Monster High was getting discontinued, so these are really low budget. I think they're actually really cute considering the screenings are really well done and the hair is well styled, but they are not articulated, so they were the first Monster High dolls to not have elbow and wrist joints. Over here is Freak Du Chic, another fan favorite line. We have Gouliapi up here, which was Monster High's first 17-inch doll, and it looks like she's breaking out of the packaging. This line, I believe, is also designed by Rebecca Shipman. She's super into the circus and like freak show style. Down here we have the Rochelle playset and the Target exclusive Twyla and Claudine. This is one of my favorite Claudines. I just think, again, the makeup is so beautiful, and they're supposed to be noir inspired, like film noir, which is why they're black and white. Down here is also Target exclusive. It is the Scary Tales line. Cinderella, Snow White, and Little Dead Riding Wolf. Down here we have the Toys R Us Pride pack. No, I'm kidding. It's not Pride, but it is their first set of 2 boys. It says ghouls not included, and they're playing Dungeons and Dragons adjacent type game.
So unfortunately, in the middle of filming, my cameraman did die. So I will be filming the rest of this by myself. Here we have the Dawn of the Dance Walmart exclusive 3-pack, which was on clearance forever, but then became worth like $700. Then we have the Dead Tired collection, 8 down. One of Monster High's best lines. I think sleepovers are quintessential teenager. So smart of them to do this line. And I loved that we got to see the ghouls a little bit stripped back with the nude lip colors. They looked more fresh-faced. We got new screenings for our ghouls. Also, I am sick, like always, so just don't mind my claudo-immune disease. But yeah, Dead Tired, you guys. Round of applause. Let's really clap for them. The playsets, Draculaura's coffin. Now, this is one of the best beds ever. I would love to have this as my real bed. Laguna's hydration station, which, let's be honest, this is the main bed that we all remember because it was so loud. Then the Original Ghouls 6-pack. I don't know if a lot of people even realize this exists. It was Walmart exclusive, and it was the only way to get the reproduction Ghoulia and Laguna. The Gloom Beach 5-pack from Target, which is the only way to get Ghoulia. The Dance Class 5-pack from Target. Target loved a 5-pack, which was the only way to get Dance Class Gil and Rochelle. Now, looking back at Rochelle, she kind of ate. The Ghouls Night Out 4-pack. Now, Walmart came through with this. You want to know why? Because for once, they didn't throw in a ton of dolls that were already released. Rochelle was the only one that was already released, and these 3 other dolls were exclusive to the 4-pack, which was nice. The Fear Leading 3-pack, which was Toys R Us exclusive. Comment down below. Do you think this C and D is for Cleo and Deuce or Draculaura and Claude? One of the best Ghoulias. Fear Leading Ghoulia. If you know, you know. Ghoul Spirit. I remember I was dating probably my second boyfriend ever, and he was afraid to walk down the Target aisle to look for slow-mo, and needless to say, it was over after then. Headless Headmistress Bloodgood, Toys R Us exclusive. Mother, 8. The Budget dolls from 2014 or 15. Again, gorgeous screenings, but no articulation. Haunted. Now, if you were lucky enough to live near a Walmart after Black Friday in November of 2014, all of the Haunted line was only $5. $5. little secret, I'm exposing myself as a criminal. Allegedly. There were stickers on the back of the UPC codes that would scan and ring up as $5 after the Black Friday sale. So what people would do is take those stickers, peel them off, and put them on other Monster High dolls, so that way any doll you got was $5. That's smarter shopping for you. Amazon Prime deals could never. This was also probably Monster High's most cohesive line. Pastel Goth, Monster High, bring it back. It does so well for you. Freaky Fusion. Honestly, looking back at this retrospectively, gorgeous line, very fun, really cool concept. The hybrid dolls, some of Monster High's most gorgeous dolls, the juxtaposition of the steampunk packaging with these dolls, so much fun, so underrated. But back in that time, they were considered some of Monster High's ugliest and really catapulted the line to being discontinued because I think people just were like overwhelmed with how many dolls were coming out. And this line has the most dolls, if I'm not mistaken, in a line, which I believe is over 13 dolls. But the Save Frankie line, pretty good, pretty gorgeous. Coffin Bean. I think Coffin Bean, slay. Coffin Bean was really good. And the Coffin Bean playset brought me so much joy. Monster Exchange. These were fun. The ghouls were in their traveling era. How much money do these characters have? Because they just be doing whatever. Freaky Field Trip. Again, how much money do these girls have? Because the fact that they can have themed outfits for anything they ever do, beyond me. Fantastic Fitness. Let's get into that yoga and deep breathing, ghouls. Ghoul Fair. It was a line that they made, and they created it. And Scarnival, same thing. Very random. They're kind of like an extension of Freak Du Chic, I guess. Great Scarier Reef. Thank you to my friend Katie Bame for selling these to me. They are the international exclusive, which means all their packaging is different than the US in that it has different languages. As somebody who loves mermaids, love. As somebody who hates ugly designs, hate. But some of the designs came through. Swim Class, Justice exclusive, gave us some of our best swim dolls of all time. These are drag queens. These are drag queens. The one-piece outfits that they're wearing with the PVC vinyl, they're over there performing in Heart We Ho. The Target exclusive Werewolf Sisters. There was a glitch in Target system, and these were actually only $4 for a long time. Yep, the 2-pack was only $4 at Target. Toys R Us exclusive Werecat Sisters. We don't talk about them enough. I don't know why there wasn't more Meowlity Persephone in this world. Random Monster High paraphernalia. These were some of Monster High's first one-off merchandise, like the Fear Book and the Cross Pets that glow in the dark. I used to love these. Dot Dead Gorgeous 3-pack, Walmart exclusive, and they made costumes of this. Gorgeous Accessories Rebecca. Love that bronze lip on her. And then Gorgeous Purses Honey Swamp. Then we had the Brand Boost students, Batsy Claro, EC Dawn Dancer, and Kirsty Trolson. Thank you so much to the Doll Circle for giving me Kirsty for Christmas one year. And Jane Boolittle, who I hope they make her again as a character. She was fun. She was gorgeous. Ghostbusters, Frankie, SDCC exclusive. Now, this was around the reboot, and interestingly, this was the first year that Monster High had 2 Comic-Con dolls at the same time. And I think it was their first licensed doll as well. Real Drama. Boy, did that line cause a lot of drama. Enough said on that. Vampire Heart Draculaura, one of Monster High's best dolls ever. Then I have random Monster High stuff. The Spirit Halloween Draculaura Gen 3 hat, the Haunt Couture poster that was sent in PR, all of the Monster High backpacks that Hot Topic has sold, some more store displays, like cardboard cutout displays. I have all of these collectors out of box, except for Pennywise and the Grady Twins, which I sold on my Whatnot. Some gorgeous customs, which my friend Dominatrix made and gifted to me for different holidays. The Off-White dolls, which I got in Vegas by hooking up with various men. The Fangboat Rochelle, and the Ghost Ghoul that just came out. More of my Skelectors, and like I mentioned, I will be selling more of my Skelectors on Whatnot on May 5th. Do I really want to let them go? No. But do I want to live my best life? Absolutely yes. Then we have all of my Skelectors in box. So I will be keeping these. I will not be selling these. I do have one of each in box. I do not have duplicates of these. This really revitalized the Monster High brand. They actually won a toady, which if you don't know, that's like the Oscars of toys. It's really coveted if you work in the toy industry to have a toady. Everybody always posts about it on their little LinkedIns. I don't know who the fuck chooses who wins the toadies, but I mean, I'm glad that Monster High got one. Very fun. Congrats to Rebecca for her toady. I really love to see that. Then we have all of the Gen 3 but Gen 1 dolls, holiday sets, which are lovely. I love that Claude and Draculaura, super underrated. Stitched Frankie and the holiday dolls, and Fang Vote Rochelle in box. These are all the fashion packs I own, all the Scream uniforms. I don't own every, sorry, my lover is waking up on FaceTime over here. Not me exposing myself that we're on FaceTime while he's sleeping. I digress. All my fashion packs, you guys. All of them. Every last one. Oh, the Day at the Mall fashion pack, their best. Their best fashion pack. Like, just, these outfits are so seen early 2000s. I need this outfit made in my size. Then I have the Funkos and like the hard candy dolls, the Electro Cuties, which I took forever trying to find, the Fortune Skulls, which I will literally ask for advice sometimes, the 13 Wishes Blu-ray with a lunchbox, a puzzle, toothbrush set. If Monster High's name was slapped on it, I bought it and I own it. One thing about me, I love an Easter basket gift set. I don't care what time of year it is, Valentine's Day, Easter, if they are selling gift baskets and you care about me, you will buy me a gift basket. And thank God they made a Monster High one for the holidays one year. Other random Monster High licensed merch. Thank you so much to my friend Dracubella, who gifted me some of these things, like this Monster High paddle ball, super cute. Stephen Sumner also gifted me this book cover, but it was only given to employees at Mattel. Lucky to own that. Thank you cards for Monster High invites, and then various Hot Topic jewelry. This is where you know, like, I'm sickly obsessed with Monster High, like the random things that I own by Monster High. These were all to promote the Monster High movie at VidCon, so I have a ton of Monster High IDs, and I've even kept the candy, which I will never eat. It will rot because I just can't open it, but this was to promote the Monster High movie. I have a plastic cup and napkins that I kept from the Monster High movie premiere. Then I have these Monster High tote bags, which I love. I think these are so cute. They are from Comic-Con. I miss when Monster High made a fun Comic-Con bag. If I could, I would use them every day, but I don't go out enough to be using tote bags. Then we have the Monster High luggage with the Skelette on it, which is so cute. And then all of the PR boxes, which I've ever been sent from Mattel, because I don't throw away anything that has Monster High's name on it. And some store displays, which I just simply don't have room to fit. I have a literal store display stocked full of product, which was used, I believe, for like Walmart or random stores to sell these Monster High cosmetics. Way too old to be using. I'd probably get lead poisoning. I wasn't able to show every single doll that I have in this video. I simply don't have the room in my apartment to display all 800 Monster High dolls, which is part of why I am selling some of them on my Whatnot. I know a lot of you are gonna ask, like, what is going on? How are you selling so many dolls? And I just have an insane amount of Monster High. In case that's not clear, it is my special interest. So I am letting go of more. I'm trying to save up for some future endeavors. I wanna travel more. I wanna live my life. So if you want to get some dolls from a trusted source, I'd rather sell my dolls on Whatnot, where I get to connect with you all. I don't really like selling on other platforms, mostly because it feels so impersonal compared to Whatnot, where I've gotten to write like the handwritten notes. I get to talk to you all about the dolls as I'm selling them, so you know exactly what you're buying, and it's just a lot more fun that way. So even if you don't plan on buying any of the dolls from my collection, you can check me out on Whatnot. It's completely free to sign up, and you'll get a $15 credit. If you do sign up, all you have to do is pay for shipping, which if you're in the US
US is typically only like $7 or $8. And I got a lot of support on my last video from you all with suggestions. I am working on some new styles of content for you all for YouTube, which the same way that these makeup videos are blowing up and I'm giving them my all and I am investing all of my creative energy into them, you can know that when these YouTube videos drop, they're gonna be game changing. I know everybody says this, it's so cliche, like y'all are not ready, blah, 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 but when I do release them, it will be worth the wait. Thank you everyone for watching. I really, really appreciate all of your support for over a decade now. And I hope this video inspired you or motivated you, if you're a fan of Monster High, that it is possible, because y'all, just 3 years ago, I was like, I'm never gonna be able to afford some of these dolls. It's just not gonna happen. And really, it is thanks to all of you that I'm capable of doing that. So this is a community that I think builds each other up. If you watch my documentary, you know that some of my dolls I bought from people within the community, going to Frankensons, you guys telling me where to find certain items. So I hope that gives hope to you all, that when you immerse yourself in the community and you're nice to people, you're kind to people, you are in the community with empathy, I think it shows its love back. So thanks for watching. If you enjoyed today's video, don't forget to give me a thumbs up, comment down below your thoughts, and hit subscribe. Thanks for watching. See ya.